Shall we do this? Or shall we wait for that break to end? Well, why do we... I don't even want to know at this point. So I'm not muted. I am not muted. I am not muted. And the fish is still swimming. While we wait for people to trickle in, and for some unknown reason, Twitch decided, wouldn't it be great to start with a 3-minute ad break? Can we just get the ball rolling, and then I know you with actually what's up in Spain? Okay, do you want internet for 30 euros a month? Sounds like a good deal. Rambling on, rambling on. Just 2 more minutes and we can get going. It is still very hot, but it's not that humid anymore. And looks like the neighbors are not playing music, so it can work with an open window. One more minute. Oh, one more minute. One more minute, right? We have a plan for ad breaks. We have a plan for ad breaks, and that is buy some wire, buy more wire. Okay, buy more wire. This is silly. This is silly. I shouldn't have started this. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. I'm so sorry for doing this to you. Don't play this game. Don't. You get sucked into the. Just make some paper clips, right? 45 seconds. So what can I say? I want to wait till everybody's here. You are here. Yes, I know you are here. You're always here, and thank you for being here. Um, okay, audio is still working. We have 30 seconds to go. That's enough to make a gazillion paper clips. No. We could make a game like... Should we make... No. Do an idle clicker? No. This ends up in cookie clicker world. Okay. 5. Go? Go. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Update available. No. So, last time. Yesterday. Godot Fish v3 done, right? You can play the game. You can play the game. You can swim. You can kill the fish. And you get a nice respawn. Fish is done. Project over, right? So, yesterday we just wanted the plan was to extract all needed assets and set up the base project in Godot and then Unity. And then we added the fish and got dragged into fish animation. And give me a second, sorry. Unmute. I'm getting my air conditioning cold. So we got dragged into Godot and that was nice. So I left the stream 3 hours in, probably 2 hours of Godot work installing and stuff. We got to this and I left on a massive high, right? Yes, this is working. This is fun again. Ouch, I shouldn't do that. So I thought, okay, today, as we discussed, we're going to leapfrog this, right? So we're going to do set up the base project in Unity, add basic fish movement in Unity, maybe even add obstacles and then switch back to Godot to interleave the work on the project in both platforms. So I installed Unity, right? And Unity Hub is working now, and Unity Hub, for those who used Unity before, having multiple Unity versions installed side by side used to be a nightmare, and Unity Hub is a massive improvement on that. Sad thing is, remember the download? I think Godot was 100 megabyte, everything working, plus a gigabyte for the template for Mac OS. Ignore that. But then Unity download was like 400 megabytes, and that was just the hub. So it was not the editor version that I'm currently on. That was the default it suggested, so I just used that. So getting to this point, you install the hub, okay, drag and drop, started and says, do you have an account with Unity? And I go like, no. So bit of backstory. I do a lot of freelance working. Lots of my clients have Unity, use Unity, have Unity accounts and licenses. So I think about 8 or 9 Unity accounts, but for this I wanted a separate Unity account. And then let's park the license discussion for the moment. Insert license here, so I spent half an hour looking at license situation. Not good. Installed Unity Hub, decided to create a new account with Unity just to have this separated. And multi-account management non-existing. Don't know how I will solve this, so second problem. Then it said, hey, go to this website, enter email, your social security number, the name of your grandmother's firstborn child, grabs a ton of data, and says, log in. And it says, oh, wait for this verification mail. Wait for this verification mail. Wait for this verification mail. So about 20 minutes later it arrived, ended up in my spam folder. Hey, dear Unity folks, your DKMS setup in your name server is broken, so your mail will be flagged as spam. Well, found the mail, clicked on it. Oops, something went wrong. So I was like, okay, let's just log in. I logged in, and it said your email is not verified. Please verify your email. Send that mail again. So guess what? Waited another 20 minutes for the mail to arrive in my spam folder. It took me 3 more tries, then I verified my email, got into the account, logged into the account in Unity Hub, and then it didn't work for 20 minutes, I guess network issues. And then I finally started the download, and I watched that download go at. We have a super fast line here, right? It's like we have a super fast line here, right? And this is limited. This here is limited by my Wi-Fi, right? This is limited by my Mac. So we have a super fast line here, and that 9 gigabyte Unity download took all night long. I guess the Unity content delivery network is not that fast, so let's ignore that as well. So I have Unity set up. Bit about licenses. I spent half an hour yesterday trying to understand, do I need the license? What license do I need? Do I need an extra license? What can I use? And the answer is, I have no clue. According to the rules, I probably have to pay 2,000 euros a month, but I already pay, and my clients already pay. And so for this project, this account is for educational purposes, right? I'm trying to learn and relearn Unity, and I'm trying to teach you a bit of Unity. So I'm using the educational license, right? So if you go to pricing here, let me actually, I didn't realize, sorry about that. Let me actually get out of the way, right? So too many open windows will always kill you. So obviously I'm not a student. I'm using the personal, right? I think I might. It's I don't know. It's I try to learn more, and it's I don't know, right? So technically, I just want to use this while we develop. If we launch the game with Unity, we might go pro, but that's 2,000 euros, dollars a year. I don't want to spend right now, and technically, I already have 8 licenses via the enterprise license via my client, right? So I don't know. And then there's this, right? And technically, I don't provide Unity services. I do consulting on the game architecture side, so I don't touch Unity myself, but my clients in total have more than 100K in revenue, right? So technically, I need the pro license, but I already have 8 pro licenses that somebody else is paying for, right? So this is for learning only, and I don't know what the hell is going on, so sue me. I tried. I tried to understand it. If we ship the game, with Unity, I'll definitely buy a license, but not for testing out if we even can do a game in Unity, right? So, and technically, I have multiple enterprise and industry licenses. So if you look at the prices, enterprise is expensive, industry is expensive. So somebody is paying roundabout in total $50,000 for my Unity licenses. Well, 50, $25,000 for my Unity licenses. So if I use one here for learning, the free one, I think that's more than fair, and I'm willing to stand by that. So enough rambling. Enough rambling. We want to get here, right? We want to get here. So let's get Unity started. And we're only, how long? How long are we in? We are 12 minutes in, right? So let's see how this goes. I want to create a new project, and let's make this, can I? Yes, I can. So I want to do a 2D game, right? 2D. So that leaves the 2D built-in, MP project, 2D built-in renderer, or mobile. Preloaded with recommended packages and settings for 2D mobile info. Wow, packages. I mean, okay. That's not, or is it universal? Platforms, Linux, Mac OS, Windows, right? So not this one. Platforms, iOS, Android, Linux, Mac OS, WebGL, Windows. Okay, so maybe that one, or no, this is iOS and Android. So it's this one, right? This one, because we want to definitely target the desktops. Having a WebGL for comparison or previews on itch or wherever is always nice, and we definitely want the iOS version, right? Android. So we use the this. I'm not sure it's 2024. Do we still want to use the built-in render pipeline? Okay. So the project name is Fiiish v3 view for Unity. Or is it just Fish v3? Will I regret this? The organization is the new one I created. I don't want to connect to Unity Cloud, and I'm gonna go black real quick. I'm not sure where this. So yeah, as expected, it's opening in my home folder, but I have this, and then we have Fish v3 Unity. I want it in this folder, right? In this folder, Fish v3. I probably will regret it because there was something. Put Unity in a subfolder of the project folder or not? I mean, it's a subfolder already. So let's just create this, and okay, this is starting well. This is starting well. Probably gonna say, hey, this is from an. Let's get a drink. Seriously? I mean, it only has to do this once, and this is macOS keeping my system safe. So, oh wait, there was this. Remember when you open Unity, it does something to all your assets and packages, and without you even doing anything. You have to wait for. So the last project I worked on, opening Unity took like 4.5 hours. From a clean slate, if you opened it the second time, it had some pre-compiled stuff, but clean checkout was like 4.5 hours on a high performance system. So, I mean, this is an empty project, right? I mean, well, we want to stay neutral. Okay. Yeah, we don't. Oh, I hovered over this. I was like, that's a strange startup error message, right? So let's make this big. And I'm just going to press run here, right? And we have an empty view, and we have this thing here, right? So project setup done. So just for comparison, this is where we want to get, and we want the same visual result, right? That doesn't necessarily mean we want the same scene setup of everything and the same nodes. We just want the same visual result. So we start with the background, right? Background sounds easy enough. So we have assets, all right? We have assets. Seriously. I mean, I wonder when they will learn that this is not. So I'm going to create a new folder and okay. So just maybe I should do a comparison later, but this here create new has 5 items, right? And this here create new has, I don't know, a gazillion items. But I want a folder and I call this textures, right? And in that folder, I'm trying to create another folder, right? And call that backgrounds. Backgrounds. And then I'm going to open a Finder. Sorry about this, but yeah, it's going to open recents by default, and all my work stuff is in there. So we go to Fiiish v3, and remember we have the assets here and we have the background. So I'm just going to drag in both. We only need the background for now, but and I'm going to keep this open in the background so I can do this. That's just control up for the control center. So I have this texture here. What I usually do is this, right? I go super small here because I want the list view. That is deep Unity knowledge. It took me years to figure out you go to list mode in. So this is the sprite, right? Sprite 2D and UI, single sprite mode, pixels per unit. You did map the pixels to some physical units somehow, but I forgot how. Filter mode, bilinear is fine. Usually I would do point for sprites, but this is kind of this is the texture anyway, right? Max size, resize, all is good. So, okay. So this is our sample scene here, right? And how do I... So this is our game, right? This is everything game related will be under here. So our main camera probably will be under under shouldn't be this. I'm not sure why I couldn't. This is not going well. So this is our main camera, right? I want to add the background. So, I mean, I think I could just, what happens if I just drag this here? Under the camera, right? So if I press play now, if I press play now, why don't I, huh? Where, you you saw me drag that thing there, right? So again, I drag the background here. Why can't I? And this is not, oh, okay. Here's what happened. I was in play mode, right? I was here, went back to the scene, and then did some stuff here. Then I added the background here, right? And I'm not sure why. Right? And then I could see it in game, but as soon as I press stop. So that's something Unity to remember, right? And I think the trick was Unity change editor color when running game. There was some change editor colors when in play mode. There was some preferences colors play mode tint. Edit preferences settings. Colors play mode tint. Colors. Whoa. Play mode tint, right? So what we're gonna do is, I wish I had a preview of this, but let's just take this dark red. Okay, so that's probably too much, right? So, okay, but that's a good warning sign, right? And you see one of the first problems, this is from 2010. So most of the documentation you find randomly by searching on the internet will be outdated. This one luckily was close enough. Can I get, I want this to be a bit darker even, but right. So I'm not even sure what, okay. Can I edit I cannot edit. What is it importing? What is it? What is it doing? I haven't. Okay, so I can trick it into. Oh, the alpha. They're not overlaying with the alpha. They multiplying the alpha into the UI. So I basically by. So I want something that is slightly reddish, but I could go down here, but probably maybe go a bit more. I still want to be able to read stuff without going crazy, right? So maybe something like this, right? Oh, I didn't close that. So now I'm in play mode and now I'm not, right? So I can't act. And I, why is it re-importing the assets? Okay, so let's try this again, right? I create an empty parent here because I want this to be the game, right? and I get the safe twitch already, and then I put the background on the under the camera, right? So if I press play now, I have the background, right? So if I press play here, I have the background. Here I have the background, right? Difference here, I'm in the standalone window, which is nice. And here I'm in Unity, which is... maybe we could just rip this out. Let's not change the UI too much. Let's use what the developers thought is good for us, right? So that's our background. And I have no idea project settings about the scaling thing, right? Um, uh, graphics. I want the height of that viewport to be 1024 with 0 being in the middle. Because if I look at this now, right, the position is 0, which is nice. So let's add the fish, right? Let's add the fish. So textures, create folder, fish, fish. And I could probably just do that in the file system, but I'm a bit scared of that. So we're just gonna do it in the UI because there was some magic, right? So this is the fish, right? And what I want to do with this, I want to turn this into an animation. So probably 2D sprites, no, tiles, animated. I wish I had a animation, right? So, okay. Can I just... and I have no help, so I have no idea what I'm doing here, right? So it is a dynamic sprite, right? Fish. Right. Why is it a circle? I mean, oh, yeah, no. Okay, okay. Dynamic means it's okay. Unity 3D add animated 2D sprite. I have no idea. I mean, it was so easy in how to animate a sprite sheet. We don't have a sprite sheet, right? Introduction to sprite animations. Animation clips that are created for to-do assets. Creating a sprite using sprite sheets. We don't have a sheet, right? Import settings, sprite mode, sprite editor, slicing. And then you select and then select sprites and then drag them into the scene. Oh, okay. Okay, I can do that, right? Fish. I want these sprites. And then I drag them into the... it said scene, not hierarchy, right? I drag them into the scene. New animation. And I call this fish swim, right? Oh, wait, maybe it has to be before the background, right? So it's in front of it. Okay. Means not that I disabled the background, right? Okay. Okay, so background. Oh, we have sorting layers, right? Add a sorting layer. So let's create a layer and call it background. Just fair enough, right? Background and add a layer called player. And I'm not sure if this is, I guess this is up is front and the other is back. So let's put the background on the background layer and the fish on the player layer, right? Why is this? Okay, maybe our layers, maybe it's this way. Ah, okay, okay. So bottom is drawn last. Fair enough. So we have this fish animation which doesn't run at the right frame rate, but we should be able to fix this, right? Cause why is it called fish swim? Okay, here's fish swim, right? No model is available for. Can I just do? Okay. So I want to edit this. Let's delete this animation, right? And I'm not sure. This is an animation controller, and this is an animation, right? Where do I edit this? Okay, I can edit this here. And where is the frame rate? Can I just? Okay, we have 27 frames and we wanted to run at 25 FPS, right? How do I how do I how do I change the frame rate? Unity, sprite, animation, set frame rate. Okay. Oh, there's the three dots here, obviously. Frames. Okay. That looks much smoother, right? So we have this swimming fish, which is to be fair, it wasn't that hard. It was a bit slow. The position of the fish is still wrong, but roughly we're getting there, right? So the thing is the position of this fish, right? I want this position to be 0, 0, which is the center. Nice. Bonus points for having 0 in the middle, right? But I want x to be offset by -5. This is -5, right? So does it have to do with do we want 1 pixel, 1 unit? And this is still, what's the unit, right? Is that a project setting? Unit editor. Yeah, Unity. I wanted to say unit. Resolution and presentation. Pixel perfect camera, right? So we have a pixel perfect camera. What is this units? 1820 by 1024, right? And we want a size of 1. Rendering at an odd numbered resolution. Pixel perfect camera may not work perfectly. Screen resolution is smaller than the reference. Image may appear stretched or cropped. Well, image doesn't appear at all. So I guess to move this under the pixel perfect camera and this into the scene, right? And the main camera, we can just, I'm not sure this will look like. What is wrong with people who make noise in the street? I just don't. Can I do undo here? Yes, I can. I want to get rid of that pixel perfect. Okay. Let's go back here, right? Well, where? What is? Where? Where is this even coming from? Oh, Unity. Wow. Amazing, amazing stuff, right? I mean, and everything is. I'm pretty sure there's a shortcut. But what I don't get is, right? Where? Okay. I'm going to quit Unity. I mean, that's what you do with Unity, right? You quit. And you go back in. We reopen it. And let's press play again and see if that... Where's this coming from? Okay. Where... We have the fish swim. Can I... So why can't I just get a preview here? Thank you. Oh, wait. Oh. Looks like we messed up the animation from frame 17 onwards. Can you not put the dialogue I'm working on in the background? So we opened curves real quick, right? There's nothing... Where... Can I get a preview of this somewhere? I mean, this looks okay to me, right? But if I go here to frame 17, I have this. Why? Oh, because pixels per unit changed, right? Because we didn't select... Ah. Now everything is big. And maybe while we're here, we set the filter mode. Where's the filter mode? Where's the... Where's my... Can you apply this, please? Oh, I needed to press apply. Sorry about... Okay, now we at least have... I mean... Okay. Unity set project units, right? I want to work in pixels. How do I change the unit size of a project? Unity defaults to 1 unit per meter. Unity set project units to pixels. I want to work in pixels. Pixels per unit to 1. Unit. Where do I set my pixels per unit? Use a different PPU. Wow. Where do I set it? Where do I set this? Is it an editor setting? It must be per project, right? Because I'm... Where do I set... It's driving me crazy. Unity. Where do I set pixels per... That's the thing. If I search for this, pixel perfect graphics. Unity. Where do I set unit size? How do I set the world size? Oh. Game itself is based on a grid. No. Point and none. Okay, so let's fix that later, right? I go back here and I set pixels per unit to 100. Apply this because I don't get a preview. But I would love... How do I... Oh, we have to redo all the math now. And to be honest, this looks super crappy. I mean, look at this. Okay. Our fish is swimming. It's too freaking hot here. This is our camera, right? Well, can anybody tell me what does size 5 mean? Size 5 means 5 meters, right? So if I make camera 1 meter, so if I make my camera 1024, right? This is my camera. Does that mean, is that the height or is that the width? I mean, the vertical size. The vertical size, okay, the vertical size is 1024. I can set that on the camera, right? So if I go to my sprites now and set that back to 1, apply this because I don't have a preview, and then press play. I won't have the background because we didn't do that for the background yet. It looks like total, complete garbage. Why? Because 1000... This is exactly the view I have here, right? It's exactly the view I have here. And to be fair, exactly the view I have here, right? It looks good here. It looks good here. It looks like utter crap here. Okay, so maybe, just maybe, and I can't do this and I have to get out. Maybe, can you remember my selection, please? It still looks like, why? Why? Because, okay, because if I look at this, right, this is 128 by 128, and I have the fish here. And the scale is 1. What does 1 mean? Still looks like, I mean, the scale should be, here's the thing, right? This is, I want 1 pixel per unit. Maybe, okay. Oh, this is gonna make everything so complicated. But what if we say, this is our tile size, right? 128. So our scale here can be 1, right? Our scale can be 1, 1, 1. And I'm not sure why this is not linked. So now our camera, right? 1024 divided. Can I just please divide by, is 8, right? But wouldn't that mean that we have 8 fishes? How? Okay. Explain to me that even stupid me understands. If I scale the camera by a factor of 8 and the sprite by a factor of 8, the result should be the same pixels, right? Why doesn't this work? So, if I half the camera size, right, to 4, then the sprite will be twice the size and out of view. So let's push it back to the middle real quick, right? I don't get it. I don't understand this. This does not make any sense whatsoever. We have a ton of math to do later, right? Importing the zones and everything. So I don't want. I could just fiddle with the units, right? I could just say, yeah, my fish textures here. Okay, pixels per unit is 100, right? Fair enough. Yes, save this. I mean, this is. And then I go to the background, and the background has a texture, which is probably here, right? Pixels per unit 100. And then I set the camera so that I want the camera, right? Not the background, the camera, so that it shows exactly one background, right? The background texture is 1024, right? So I want the camera to show, okay, so the background 100 pixels is 1 unit, right? I mean, even having to do math here is annoying, but 100 pixels is 1 unit, right? So 10.24 pixels height is exactly one screen. So if I set the camera to 10.24, oh, it needs to be half of that, right? So it's 5.12. I mean, what weird values are we talking about, right? And this is not even true, because here in the preview we fill about one, and this is, oh, okay, fair enough. Oh, did I have the scaling on? Oh, was it my bad? Did I have the scaling on? Okay, let's try this exercise again, right? I set the background, and let's start with the background. I set 1 pixel per unit, right? 1 pixel per unit. Then I go to the camera and say, I want the camera to be 1024, right? And probably I want it to be 512 because it's half that, right? So it fits the background per. Okay, 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 okay. That is what we want, right? And that scales, right? That's nice. Okay, my bad, my bad. Sorry, Unity. You did everything right. I just didn't understand what you want me to do. So I set the pixels per unit here to 1 as well. And then I go to the fish and have it at scale 1. And then everything is fine, right? Then I set the position to 0, 0, 0. I just nuked the Z value, but I don't think any. It's on a different layer. Why does the Z value matter? It's on a different layer. This looks good, right? So if I move this up to 512, it's exactly on the border, right? And Unity counts up and Godot counts down. So this is what we want, right? That is our range. That is fine. So we're working in pixels now. And then we want it at minus 512, right? And then if I start this, I'm at the edge of the, and here the center is still off. And I start this, I'm at the edge of the screen, right? So far, so good. It was just, okay, you set the units basically on the camera. So whenever we create a new camera, we have to remember that. But so far, so good, right? Now what I want to do is if I press space, I want, ignore the 4 states, right? Maybe we just have one. But if I press space, I go down. If I let go of space, I go up, right? So I probably want to... I can double click and... Okay, that's nice. I just want to call this fish, right? And then I want to attach a script. How do I attach a script? How do I attach a script to... I will clean this up once I understand. Yeah. Create. Script. And I missed another ad break, right? And I missed another ad break. Ads are running. I'm sorry about this. Yeah, ads are running. Ads are running. Time to buy some auto clippers. And make some paper clips. And yeah, so... Gonna refill my drink on that ad break. Be right back. Unity. Okay, back to Unity. I mean, it's... So what I really want to do, and I dread it a bit, I want to see if we can build a project, but let's do the fish movement first, right? So what happens if I double... I can't click this button because I have to click this. Can I just use Sublime, please? I don't... Okay, for the sake... We're gonna use Rider. I mean, it's not like I have 15 editors installed. And why is this an extra window, right? Okay, so this is... What? Where do I... Where do I set the external editor? External tools. Okay, okay. Can I open this in Finder? Oh, yes, I can. Nope. I can close this. Can I open this in Finder? Unity, Fish, Assets, Scripts. Uh, Oh, let's try this again. Okay, this looks better. So update is called once per frame, and we don't have auto completion here, right? We don't have, I mean, how could it, right? So we have to Unity's, what's the class name? Unity mono behavior reference. I mean, I just need the interface, right? Mono behavior. So we have start update, we have fixed update, right? We have fixed update. So we do the same. In fixed update, we update the physics, and here we update the input, right? So Unity and, oh, we don't get, ooh. Where do I get input? Input. If input get button, can I just get the key input get, can I get a key code? Input get key. Input get key. I hope there's a space. Where's the names defined? Key dot input get key code space, I guess. If input dot key code get key code dot space. I mean, I wish I had auto completion, but I don't. This is gonna be ugly, right? Print. We can print. Print going down. Oh, this is ugly. Print going up, right? I save this and then I go back to Unity and it's reloading and it takes a while. Then I press play. Oh, and nothing is happening because I need to attach that script to the fish, right? I could have just done add components, new script, and okay. So if you look down here in the corner, which I probably can't make bigger. Okay. So we're going up and down. Right, so far. So I want to have, and this is C# enum. C#, even my keyboard refuses to do that. Right, so we just do this. Enum, name, and then the values. Okay, easy enough. So I'll probably, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move this to the screen to the right. And then I'm gonna have, this as an enum direction, right? And that has up, neutral, and down, right? And then I have my C# is so rusty. C# member variables. Private, okay, the scope, the type, and then, okay. Private. Private direction equals direction dot neutral, right? We can only Okay, fair enough. So it's throwing arrows down here, right? So I wonder if we should reinitialize here, but okay. This dot direction equals direction down, right? And this equals direction up, right? In the input, in the fixed, in the update that we run once per frame, we just handle the input, and in the fixed update, we handle the physics. So match, switch, switch. This dot direction case. It's been a while. C# switch case. Okay. So that was how, but I have to do breaks at the end of the blocks. Okay. Case is stay a direction up, right? And we do a break here. And then we parentheses upper. Oh, okay. Okay. I coded too much. Well, I coded a ton of Rust in the. Right, we do up, down, and we make sure we cover all of them. So if we're going up, I want to access the fish, right? How does the script get the object position? Unity update position from script. This is current. Okay, so we can just access the transform position. Can we? I mean, we don't have auto-completion, right? So let's assume transform dot position dot y minus equals 10 multiplied by time dot delta. This is probably going to be wrong. I'm just guessing here, right? Hey, Professor Stevens. We are struggling with Unity. Unity script time delta. Time.delta time. I wish we had auto-completion for... We were so close. We were so close. Okay, so where is the documentation for the transform? A transform, and we probably need to do a translate, right? Position, we can read it because we have getters. Really? Yeah, that's exactly what. Really? Ah! That's why people love Unity, I guess, and everything is simpler. Uh, Thanks, yeah, the documentation. So, okay, I just copied that line here, which is, I mean, would have been too easy, right? So, We can't modify it in place, so we have to create a new version and override it. So we take the old version and we just take our minus 10 point, x, right? X is 0, y is this, and z is this, right? I mean, not that the line above would have been, this line would have been so much easier to understand, but we're doing the super inefficient version right now. So we're just trying to get the basics running and then we do a cleanup pass. So I don't care about, I mean, inefficient. It's one update per. Argument 3 cannot convert from double to float. Really? But why for argument 3? Argument 2 cannot convert from double to float. Really? You could have told me that earlier. So I'm pretty sure there's some way. Will works on script integration, but writer would have probably saved that. Yeah, I know Unity tries to be ultra smart where it doesn't need to be, but so obviously this is not working. So obviously this is not working. Why not? Oh, this iteration flow is so cumbersome. So we're hitting the up, right? We're hitting the up. We're hitting the up. But, oh, it's actually changing the Y. But it's not changing the Y. Oh, it is actually. It's just going down super slow. And yes, up is down and down is up. We talked about that. So let's try 100 here. Should be an exported variable. Okay, so fish goes up when I don't do anything and space. No, oh, that was my bad. I pressed Command Q because I wanted to stop the player. And I guess I opened it too fast. And now I get a rainbow ball. Life happens. So I don't like the flow here with the. Yes, this should be a variable here, like the diving speed or something, but we have fine-tuned values from the historic version anyway, right? So up and down, and the rotation we'll do later. Up and down is working nicely, which is good. Yeah, because we'll have physics and collision later, and I mean, fix your time step. The only thing we do in update handling is input handling. Everything that is time step independent anyway. So for this game, does it matter? No, but it also doesn't make things worse, right? So it's just because you update physics in fixed steps and not. If my Unity knowledge is very outdated, but Unity did it wrong anyway, so it doesn't matter. I hope they fixed it in between. And if not, they will fix it one day and then it will work by accident. So additionally to this, we had multiple states, right? We want the fish to die. So let's do an enum for the state. Enum state, right? And let's say we have waiting for start. This is nothing is happening until the player presses space, right? Then we have the swimming state. Then we have the dying state where the fish is swimming up and his eyes blow out. Then we have the dead state, which is dying is finished, but we're still dead. And then we have the respawning state, right? And obviously we have a private state equals state dot waiting for start, right? And then I'm gonna split this up, right? So I'm gonna do a let me just do this for swimming right now, and sorry for the formatting that will, so yeah, let's just move this whole block down here and say switch this. I hope there's some auto formatter later. Case state dot swimming. If we're swimming, then we just call fixed update swimming, right? And we have to do the break here. And default is just do nothing. I just want to cover all the cases, right? So this should still fix this, and basically up here we kind of do the same thing, right? So if we're swimming, we check the keys. Probably should move that into its own function as well, just for cleanliness. Let's do that, right? Void update swimming, and we do just a tiny bit of keeping things clean. And this is not fixed update, this is update, right? That is how you avoid mega deep nesting depths, right? So fixed update, that was a typo here. And if we say if input dot get key k, can we do this? This dot state equals state dot dying, right? We die. We die. And we start actually in waiting for start. So state waiting for start. Break. I can't type today. Update waiting for start. My auto-completion is also not working, right? So if we get a space down, we set this dot state to state dot swimming, right? So initially we're waiting for start, we're waiting for space, nothing is happening. When we press space, we go to state swimming, and yes, this should be a state machine with cleanly modeled states. I'm missing the next act break. Yeah, I do. But this is simplified, right? So waiting for start, key, swimming, K, kill. And let's just see, we wrote a lot of code. We don't have any form of, it didn't break. So nothing is happening, hands off. I press space once, fish moves up. I hate Visual Studio Code. I simply hate Visual Studio Code. They just took an amazing editor, made a cheap copy out of it, and made bloatware out of it. So I'm not sure when you joined, but my writer license just expired, and I usually use writer for writing C# code, and I didn't want to renew my license on stream. I'll do that off stream, and then we go back to writer tomorrow. And I'm pretty sure, let's just Unity. Oh, basically it was TextMate and Sublime. I mean, even this keyboard shortcuts and everything worked exactly the same. The plugins worked. Unity completions. I mean, Unity test completions, Unity build system. I'd have to check this, but let's just see. And I'm not sure if they fixed it, but Visual Studio, I could see the cursor move while typing and it was slowing me down. So, where was I? Kill. Kill, right? So I didn't check the kill. I didn't check the kill. 1.5 hours. We actually, so space, I can start swimming. K, everything stops because I'm in dying mode, right? So far, so good. So let's do the simple kill for the moment. And I want to switch the animation, right? When I'm dying, we switch the animation. And remember, we're just redoing the old version here. So we're still in this mode, right? And we want to turn in 1.5 seconds by minus 90 degrees. So that's probably an animation. I don't know, but we could also just rotate, right? So can we, okay. Let's play the dying animation when we die, right? So I'm in the scene view. I have the game, I have the project, I have the textures, I have the fish. So this is the fish swim animation, right? This is an animation. We're not getting into animation controllers for this second, but we're gonna get there soon, right? So what if, I mean, we drag it into the scene, right? Thank you. So it's just basically we're running Godot versus Unity and see where we're faster. And so far, Godot is miles ahead, but ah, wait, this is the animation, right? And this is the animation controller. And what? We'll do that later. For now, we manually manage the animations, right? And the sad thing is we have to do this to see it. And then we have to go here, set this up. It doesn't really matter because it's 2 frames, right? But we want the total time to be, because we want to add some properties, right? So that's our dope sheet, which currently does nothing, right? It's 2 frames. Why is it frame 0? Didn't I? Okay. Why? Okay. This editor is driving me a bit nuts. So I want 1.5 seconds total animation time, right? Where do I, is this here? No. How do I set the animation length? How do I want a second animation for that? Do we have the sprite animation? So maybe I'm a bit, but remember here we just had both in one, right? So actually, no, we had the animated sprite and we had the animation. So maybe we just add a new animation for the dying, right? Okay, step by step, right? How do I play the animation? Yes, I probably should have an animation controller, right? So create animation controller. We call it Fiiish, right? And that has create state, and that state is swimming, right? And then I create a new state, and that state is dying. And the default is swimming, right? And the transition here, I want to add, no. I want to add bool. Do we add a state or do we add a bool? Do we add a bool? Do we add a bool alive? Or do we want a trigger? Or we want to add a trigger that says die, right? Let's go with the bool. And actually, we make a transition to dying. Make a transition to dying. Okay, so dying has the motion of dying, right? And swimming has a motion of swim. And we need to rename, we were a bit sloppy. Speed, motion time, mirror, cycle. I want this to be one shot, right? So what I need to do is, and this, what's the, okay, so we have this fish controller, right? And we have the main camera and we have the fish. And I want to add this here, right? We have the animator here. Update mode is normal, always animate. This is not gonna work. I just, why is that? Right, so we aren't dying. I'm not sure why we aren't dying. Okay. So we don't need a blend tree, right? It's too hot. It's too hot. This is that. No, no. We actually we have the, right, we just delete all three of these. So the fish here, it's removed, right? We remove this here because we, so if I play this now, the animation is dead, right? Because the fish doesn't know about the animation anymore. We have an animator here, but we don't want the animator, right? Let's remove this. Animation. Right? And we probably want to set the animation to something. Right? So Unity set animation from script. So animation, we get the component, right, which gives us an animation. Okay, we remember the animation, right, because it's basically the on ready. We remember our animation, and I have no clue why this is public, right? This is probably for debugging. So on start, we say animation equals get component of type animation, right? Basically saying, hey, yeah, I think that auto-completion was not a good idea to install. So, right, that should work. Let's see if it crashes. Property or index a component animation. What? Component animation is obsolete. Has been used get component animation instead. Wait. Component.animation is obsolete. Property animation has been dropped. Use get component animation. But use get component animation. Oh, it's called anim because hey, so if we start this, nothing will happen. Nice. It doesn't crash. I mean, it's Unity. And then we have this animation, and that is playing. We can probably just play and then the string, right? So we can just say anim.play, and that is just, I guess it's fish swim, right? Can I just copy and paste this? Thank you, right? Fish swim. It didn't copy this. The animation could not be played because it could not be found. Please attach the animation clip. Please attach an animation clip. How do I attach that? Can I just attach that? So we have an animator now. Okay, we can play this clip now and everything else works as before. And okay, don't press Command Q. So what I want to do now is if we die, if we press K for the moment, right? We're gonna rename that real quick. Fish dying, right? Fish dying. This will not work because we haven't attached the clip, right? So we swim. We press K and that could not be found, right? Please attach the clip. Okay, we can do that, right? Will this... Did we just attach this? Where do I see which clips are attached? Oh, there. There's animations, right? List is empty. Can I just drag? Okay. I want to lock this. Can I just drag these two into this list? No. Can I drag this into this list? Yes, I can. And then I can drag the dying in here, right? Unlock this so I go crazy later. And let's see. Don't need... The animation state could not be... The animation state could not be played because please attach an animation clip with the name fish dying. We have an animation clip with the name fish dying, right? Wait. 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 It... Add clip. Adds a clip with new name. I mean, why does everything have to be so complicated in Unity? Can I add another animation? Okay. So it's saying attach the animation clip with the name fish swim. It's here. Okay, so this is a clip, right? This is the clip. And this is the animation. So how do I add multiple clips to add multiple animation clips to object in Unity? This is for 3D, but I guess... So this is the icon for clip, right? So the triangle is the icon for a clip. This is a clip. Thank you for documentation is so broken. Yeah, I don't want to watch YouTube videos too. Unity animation play from script. It's an interim, right? Animation play. When you create an animation, it's added as a state in the animation controller. So I can play the state in the animator. But okay. Okay. Let's remove this component. Let's remove this component, right? Project. This is our animator, right? Animator, and that has a fish swim, which is a default. And so this is the swim clip, right? And this is the die clip, right? Okay, these two clips. So now our fish here, we add an animator, right? We add an animator, null pointer exception expected. There's no animation attached, right? Because we want the animator. Animator. And then we want the component animator. And then here we want play, right? It was play. It was play. We can play the state. We can play the state. So if we go to the, I did have the animator open, right? So we have a fish swim and a fish dying. So all that should work. There is no animator attached to fish. Wait. Missing No, I did. Oh, maybe it helps to save. Okay. Okay. Animator does not have an animation controller. Animator does not have an animation. Oh, I wish I could copy paste here. Animator does not have an animation controller. Can I? Does your animator have an animator controller? look in the inspector and look at the controller slot. Okay, we don't have one. I mean, we dragged that one in there, right? Okay. Fish gone. I mean, I don't know. Where's my fish? Okay, fish is dead, but oh, my bad, my bad, my bad. Okay, okay, okay. Here's what we forgot. The fish die still has the pixels per unit 100, right? So I can swim, I can die, and obviously the whole rotation stuff is missing. So we could do that in code. Let's do that in code, right? So let's do that in code because that's easier. So fixed update, and we do the same here for dying, right? Let me do a void fixed update dying, right? And here actually we want just to go up, right? Just baby steps, baby steps. I mean, baby steps when every character change takes 10 seconds and another. So we're swimming up, right? And we're actually going to steal that from the old project, right? Because update dying. So, so we turn by 90 degrees over 1.5 seconds, right? So we turn at 60 degrees per second and we clamp it at minus 90. So we probably can say, transform rotate. I don't know. This is probably not going to work. Okay, it wants a vector 3. We can do that, right? New vector 3 x y z. God, I can't wait till argument. Really? This is gonna be wrong. Ignore the speed, right? Wait. What? Oh. Here's the thing, right? Why is okay, that works. That is X. Y doesn't do anything, and that is Z, right? We need to rotate around Z, not Y. And we want to rotate 60 per second, so 60 times time dot delta time, right? And this is not in degrees, this is in radian. And obviously, why? Okay. Unity script deck to rat. Mass F deck to rat. Yeah. So we're gonna put this in here, right? And this is just red, and this is still rotating in the wrong direction, right? To be honest, at this point, I want to go back to Godot because it's rotating very slow. Why? This is equal to pi. I mean, I have to do a plus. I cannot do a comma here. Hi there. So, okay, let's for the time being remove the transformation here, right? Just for easier. Is the rotation in degrees or radian? Well, we can find out, right? We just rotate by 90. So 90 degrees is, oh, okay. So we didn't need to do this. We just need to do 60 point F here, but we need to clamp it, right? We need to clamp it to 90 degrees. It's probably easier to get it and then to, okay, it worked, but it basically kept rotating, right? And I'm not a fan of delta arrows tend to accumulate, right? So it should just stop, but it kept rotating. So I want to transform. It's so hot here. Transform, right? And I can get, I probably want the local Euler angles. Gives us a vector 3, right? Local Euler angles, and I can probably override them. Okay, local Euler angles. Hmm. This, right? And then we say transform dot. Can we override this? I am not sure this will work. Oh. Oh. Bad me. That was me. That was all on me, right? Object reference is... Maybe I fix all of these locations. So if I die now, it's rotating, right? And then do I have a minus min, right? I want the smaller. Do I have a mass f min? I do, so I can do a mass f min, right? Math f dot min. I want the smaller of 90 degrees or this animated thing, right? Just clamping it. And it's mass f, not mass f, metaf. Cannot convert from double to flow. Oh, come on. Now you're just annoying me. Okay. So now we re-enable the transformation here, right? And we say if transform position dot y is larger than 512 plus the sprite size. We'll add a collider for this, right? Then self dot state. This dot state equals state dot det. And I'm gonna I will use a wrong value here so we see what's going on. I'm not sure if I'm mistyping or if there's some autocorrection involved. Add break in 15, we can do this, right? So we're swimming, we're dying. And at some point, that's when death has stopped, right? We're dead right here. So I think there's an ad break running, so this feels better. This feels so much better. Gonna open the window. Let's try this again. I was hoping to make much better progress with this, to be honest. I was hoping for much better progress. It's an ad break, right? Ooh, we can buy stuff. Maybe we need ops. Okay. I don't need to do this. 15 more seconds. Three more seconds. Ah, ad break ended. And we're still. I want to buy the improved auto clippers just to make this thing faster. Done. Okay. So, what's missing, right? When we're dead, we're allowing to be respawned, right? When we're dead, we want to be respawned. So if the state is dead, in state dead, right? So let's say case state dead, update dead. And yes, I'm fully aware that this is 3 extra lines to have 1 line embedded, but was ein Glück. Ja, was ein Glück. Wait, update that. Right. And we go into respawning and we play the swimming, right? We play the swim, fish swim. We actually set our transform, and this is going to be, so we ignore the old position. We just want to be set left of the screen, right? So minus, it's, this needs to be tweaked, right? And I want to set the state last. So if we're dead, we go to respawning, right? And actually, I want a fixed update for respawning because there's movement involved. And we use the animator in Godot, and I really like that. But we don't want to go. I'm going to steal this, which is a bit. No, I'm going to steal this and then clean it up. Red spawning. So we just want to set the, we need to fix the rotation. We need to fix the rotation. I'm going to show you in a second, right? So while we're respawning, we're moving to the right. All right, so we basically, let's say this, and let's see how this feels, if this even, I'm pretty sure I forgot something. Oh. So I can swim, right? I can die. I'm probably going to stop dying at the wrong point and the speed is wrong. So now I can respawn and yes, I'm swimming in from the left, but we still have to fix the rotation. So let's fix these two things real quick because there's still this die on screen, right? And actually debug.log that. State machine to be inserted here. We don't care enough right now. And when we go into the respawning, I want to fix the rotation, but for this, probably I do this. just steal this and set all the rotations to. I probably what I would do is grab the original position at start. And we have an extra problem, but we're going to get to that in a second. So we are waiting for start. We're swimming, right? Swim, 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 swim. We're dying. We're dying, dying. Yeah, implement faster dying. At some point, we are dead. We're respawning, and 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 we're okay. Okay, that should be an easy fix, right? If transform dot position dot x is larger than minus 512.0, larger or equal, is a float, it doesn't matter, right? Then we say this dot state equals state dot waiting for start. And we're gonna do this. And I think we oh, transform position. This was so much more fun in Godot. Okay, kill. Let's fix the death speed. So we're dead. We're respawning. Probably we should. No, we have a state there with the menu, right? And now we are waiting for start. And if we're waiting for start, we can start the whole damn loop over again, right? So basic fish cycle done. But I want to tweak the fish for good now, right? So, and we're gonna use the old values from old fish. So 90 degrees, we have that. We're moving by, this is our position move, right? This is the speed we're moving at. So let's use that speed for moving at. This is much faster now, right? But this is the old fish dying behavior, which is nice. And probably it should accelerate, but the end screen pops up already, right? So if we look at the original, well, the original V2, which is a copy of V1. So if we swim and then die, the result screen already pops up. So it doesn't matter that it takes a bit longer in the background, right? Because the countdown is there anyway. We don't have the respawn swim in, but I kind of like that. So that's that part, right? So the next part I want to do is, if you see the fish swimming here, you see it's kind of fading out so it doesn't scroll up too much. And I can't go down because I don't have the space. So let's try this again. Basically at the bottom also, it stops so it smoothly swims at the bottom, right? And I'm gonna do that, and we just gonna, so this we have done. We have the update swimming there, so that's gonna be interesting. So texture, that's the actual speed. So the fish doesn't move in X, but it tells the other components in the system how far to move. We can ignore that. And basically we change the angle by 120 degrees per second, right? That's the angle speed. And we're probably gonna say, let's make that actually a private const float rotation speed, and that is 120, right? That's this. And our up and down, that's the rotation of the fish. Okay, I like that to do, but let's go here. So that is the angle range, right? This gives us the limits depending on the the screen position, how far we are from the center, right? And that's basically, yeah, okay. So limit is 35, right? That's our maximum rotation. We hard clip at that. And then we go towards that, and then obviously we flip the limits, right? So can C sharp return a tuple? C sharp return two values. Otherwise, we just create a struct. Can I do tuples in... I mean, literally, I'm going to steal this function, right? I'm going to steal this function. It's probably not going to work, but I'm going to put it here, right? This is not going to work. So, float, get angle range for y, float y, right? And then we return minus 35 and 35 for the time being, right? I'm not even sure this will... I'm not sure Unity will like this. Oh, we're still running. What? What? The associated script, please fix any compile errors. Okay. I mean, would be nice if... What? On what? Where? Okay. Okay. So as soon as I enable this, I mean, it's... Okay. So, I mean, right here we use the direction to do the transform, but in reality we just change the angle and then use the angle to get the delta y via the, I mean, simple as that. And this is this delta y speed, right? So we want to get the angle. We want to get the angle. So we get the Euler angle and want to change the z, right? Probably we should have a physics here to do that, but we know how to get the angles, right? We get the angles and we get them outside of this block. And then we change them. And at the end of the block we set it, right? And then we use the angle to calculate the y changes. I'm gonna say, actually say float a equals Leah dot z, right? Just for readability. And then basically in here we say we change the value by the rotation speed times the time step, right? So we do basically this. I'm actually gonna also do this outside, right? And have a float rod z equals 0.0, right? And we use the rotation z here. We're not even clamping here, right? We're not even clamping here. Wait. Okay, inside the loop, we're just rotating, right? And we called it float, not neutral, but float is a bad name. So here we just say rod z equals this dot rotation speed times time dot delta. Is it delta time, or should we be using fixed delta time here? Should we be using fixed delta time? Unity fixed update delta time or fixed delta time. Okay, fixed delta time, no. Okay, so delta time is okay. I mean, everything else would have been confusing, right? There's no limit, no clamping. We just rotate, right? We just rotate. We apply the rotation. We remember the rotation here because we want to do some mask, and we apply the rotation. $140. Remember, fish rotation speed cannot be accessed with instance. Qualified with a type name. Wasn't it rotation speed? What? Member cannot be accessed with an instance rep. Qualified with a type name instead. What? This is just a member, right? Okay. Oh, okay. 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 So we turn that way because we have no clamping, or we turn the other way, right? So that's expected. Now we need the clamping, right? So we get the clamping by get angle range for y, right? So we say transform dot position dot y. Look, I didn't do it, and that is min a and max a, right? The minimum and maximum angle, I'm not sure. Min a does not exist, so probably I haven't used tuple syntax and desugaring, and oh, that worked. So what I need to do is I need to clamp it, right? Do we have a clamp? Oh, let's see. Unity clamp float. Mass F clamp. That's good. Gets value min max. I mean that's okay. So Leah.z is massf.clamp min angle max angle, right? So that should give us 35 to 35 right now. And it's mass, not mat. It's uppercase clamp. Never getting used to that, because obviously non-nouns are uppercase in any given language. Now this is weird. So this is 35. This is ugly. And I just have a printf. So the rotation is so we clamp. So going up, everything is fine, right? But going down, so what if we have a very low rotation speed here, right? 12 degrees per second. Yes, I could expose that in the editor, and we're rotating down, and then when it hits 0, it snaps to the maximum value. You see that? So it's minus 35. Look at that number. And it slowly goes down. And then at 0, it snaps. Oh, is that... No, that's the position. Why? I want to see the post-clamping value real quick. So, okay. Clamps 35.24 to 35. That looks right? That's what we want. Then we go down, down, down. And then here, this value, probably a bit hard, it goes negative, and it clamps to negative, but oh, ah. Mm. So, Unity ensures we get angles between 0 and 360. There is no -1. It just says, yeah, you said -1, you probably meant 359. Which means we always bounce at the 0, right? Because we clamp the negative values, which will be 359. Mm. So this value we get back here on the next round, right, will be we could create a type for that, but how about if, and this is the hack, right? Leah.z is larger than 180 degrees, right? 80, then Leah.the minus equals 360, right? Is that correct? Let's say we have an angle of 359. And we subtract 360, that sounds about right. This is a bit hacky. Cannot double to float. Argle. Argle. So we're turning down, we're stopping at 35, we're turning up very slowly, we're stopping at 35, we're turning down. Okay, that works. That works, so let's fix the speed. Hack, since Unity normalizes angles to 0 to 360. Ah, schon wieder Werbung. Ja, Dankeschön. I'm so focused into this stuff, I forget the ad breaks. So what we could do is we could just store our own angle manually and not use the system angle and be done with it, but let's wait for the ad break to finish. I'm gonna take a break soon anyway. Food and stuff, and then we do a second session later today. But I want to commit this before I do, and I want the fish movement done. And Unity is getting quite a bit in our way, right? So, going down, turning up, turning down, turning up. And that conflicts a bit with the animation here and there, but I don't care because it always did. We can remove that debug here, and we also can remove this here, right? But I like that that tuple thing is working. So we're still not clamping based on the height, but I want to fix the movement in the y direction because otherwise the height wouldn't mean a thing, right? And we're stealing the old code again, right? So we have A, and delta y is basically this here, right? So that's the rotation. And then we say float delta y is the angle times this. It's probably mass f dot sinus. And I type mass f, and it's probably sinus, times 350 times time dot delta time, right? Just want to see if this compiles at all. Cannot convert from double to float. Yes, my friend, I know. Just autocast already. And all I have to do is apply that to the position, right? And how we apply that to the position, well, we know that. We know that. We know that, right? So are we swimming up and down now? Yes, we do, but our axes are still flipped. That actually looks quite funky. So let's do this. So going down, still going off screen, but that's starting to look like the original behavior. So all we need to do now is actually fix that function, right? Remember this here, and we just steal that from the old code. I mean, it's our code. We're doing a port. And this looks pretty straightforward, actually. So the limit is, let's say, the limit is this, right? The range, I don't know what the range is, but I hope this gives us the absolute value times the range. Okay, okay, I get where we're coming from here, right? So and this is the angle, right? And this is m, the maximum. And then if y is negative, right? We could also use the sign, then we return this. And otherwise, we return this, probably semicolon, semicolon, and let's... And we probably shredded the signs. Convert double to float. Oh, come on, where? There. Mm. We mixed up and down again. We mixed up and down again because we need to... Is it... Is it just this? Probably. Because we avoiding getting further up at the bottom edge, right? So we stop going down somewhere here. It's getting harder and harder. We stop going up there. We're leveling out. And that is the full fish movement. We can still at any time... That rotation to that was... I think that respawn should be quicker. But that rotation to that was... So let's fix the respawn real quick so we can test that faster. And let's make that 200 because I like the number. But that update dying was... Ah, we have the same problem here, right? We have the same problem here. If we're pointing down, we instantly... So... depends on your experience and background. So if you use Godot, go GD script. Go GD script all the way till you hit the limit of what you can do. So GD script is a lot Python-like with all the ups and downsides of that indentation. The thing is, and I didn't actually know that, but with Godot, .NET is not native, right? It's an add-on. So if you download the basic Godot engine, it's GD script, and this is GD script plus C#. And I would go with this unless you hit limits where you say, hey, I can't do this in GD script. But so far, I have not found anything. So I would definitely go with GD script for the Godot. I mean, obviously, we could share the C# code here. The thing is, it's just iteration speed, right? Just like I change something real quick here, and then I have the recompile loop, and yeah, go GD script. Watch yesterday's stream. The VOD should be online. This is a Godot version, right? And the scripting is pretty straightforward. And the nice thing is you can edit while it's running, which you do recompiling, right? So we could, I don't know, we're in state. Let's actually be crazy here. We're in state waiting for start, right? And what if in waiting for start, we just said we swim down, right? We can live edit this. Oh, we swim up, right? We can live edit all of this. So there's a lot of value in that. So I would go GD script until you hit hard limits, and then only for that hard limits. I think complex stuff might have performance issues, but so far I haven't found any issues, and I like it more than I would like to admit, because I'm not a fan of indent-based stuff, which drives me a bit crazy, but I'm so back to this, right? I you can I mean go into code because you will need some code. I like to code stuff. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Go into C sharp or I will use Rust for the whole networks layer I plan to do. I will probably do Rust, but let's see if we go. We're still checking if we go Unity or Godot, and Godot is winning right now. Unity is So in the dying, we have the same problem here, right? We have the same problem here. So we do the same trick here, right? And I don't. We should probably do a lerp towards angles, so the swimming works. And if we swim down, we can slowly. We had the same, right? The value was 359 and it clamped to 90. We probably should have clamped to an angle. Do we actually have a mass F clamp angle in Unity? Clamp, mass F. Do we have a clamp? It doesn't have a clamp angle, right? So there should be a, I mean, we could do a delta angle, but we need to. So you shouldn't do it like I just did, but it works, so I don't care, right? And then we respawn much faster, and then we start swimming down and up, and that is working. And then I press K, and we die. We don't have collisions yet, so nothing to die at. And then at some point we can just respawn, and when we respawn, we can restart. So given that we have about 10-15 minutes left for this, I'll come back later. What I want to do is, and I should have done many more commits, right? Yeah, but that's because the game is 10 years old and we had plenty of time. I think it was done in Spine back then. We just had the base object and did the animation in Spine and then rendered it to yeah, here, rendered it to the frames. So and we're getting either the Godot version or the Unity version to Steam at some point later. Let's see how this goes. So I should have done lots of commits. Working this long without committing things is like, what are you doing? I want to do. Yeah, it's funny because actually, so this is Fiiish v2, right? The original was written in C++ like 15 years ago, long before Flappy Bird. And then about 3 years ago, I did a full rewrite in Rust, including the whole engine, UI system sound, all of it. And yes, you dodge you try to collect the coins, pickups, and if you collide with anything, you die, right? And yesterday we started redoing the whole game in Godot and Unity, so to see. So I checked the numbers. It was about 70 hours in Rust to create this game from scratch, including the engine and everything. And I wanted to see how much time do I save if I use the engine, and is it Unity or is it Godot? And so far the angle, I lean strongly towards Godot. I didn't expect it to be that heavy, but let's see. We'll do Fiiish v3 in Godot and Unity to the same level to get to this point here. And then at the end we will see what works. So yeah, the point is to avoid obstacles, collect coins, and we almost had a shop in to buy upgrades like new skins for the fish, but mostly it's just about swimming forever. Very, very relaxing. It's so nice to have this in 3 versions and kind of we will make Godot catch up to Unity, but okay. I want to do one more thing. I mean, the Rust engine, so V2, this is just a cross-compile. This is just a cross-compile, and you have a Windows version, you have an iOS version, you have whatever version you want. With Godot, I guess you just export, and we have a web version running and a Mac version, and I guess you could just add a Windows version and compile for that, and add a Linux version and an iOS version, and we're gonna do that. Please follow. We will do that in the coming days. I'm not sure how good the cross compile in Godot or Unity is, but that's what we're here to find out. So in theory, it should be do almost nothing. There might be some platform specific quirks that we'll get into. But I definitely want the Mac version, the iOS version, the web version, and the Windows and Linux version, and all of that Steam ready. I'm not sure if it's Steam or itch.io or whatever, the Epic Mega Store. But we want the full cycle for this. So stay tuned. We'll get there pretty soon. I mean, here's the thing. I do everything I do on Macs. I have experience with both, and the nice thing is Macs just work for me, right? I order a new thing, the package arrives, and 10 minutes after opening it, I have everything installed that I need to work, and it can work. And with Windows machines, you have to manually fiddle forever, and then some driver up there, and I spent more time fixing the operating system then. So I like Macs, and for my use case, I save a ton of money. Because this 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 here, this machine here, right, is the base model Mac Mini. And that was like 600 euros. So, and I do everything on that, just getting a Windows desktop for that prices. But that's me, right? Use what you feel comfortable with. I also have a MacBook Pro sitting here next to me, which I don't use for streaming, and it's the base model. I get the bigger disk for reasons not really needed. Well, if you use Unity, get a bigger disk. If you love using your Mac more than your gaming machine, here's what I did when I did Fiiish back then, right? I developed everything on my Mac, and then I had my ThinkPad next to it, and once a week I did a Windows build. But same for me, same for me. So that being said, right? I want to build and run, and this is gonna be interesting. We're gonna create a new folder, call it export, create a new folder for macOS. Thank you for the follow. No, it's sometimes a bit quiet here, so I'm always happy to chat and just talk. So you're welcome. And come back when your game is done. Well, come back before that, but definitely when your game is done, and we'll see, right? It opened on the other screen. It opened full screen on the other screen. And I cannot... It's working on the other screen. And I can kill the fish, and everything is working, so bonus points for that. But I have no idea how to... Can I just move this screen here? Oh, yes, I can. Ha! So that was kind of okay. How do I... Yeah, thanks for opening the wrong window. So what I really want to do is... Cheap viewers, go away. Stupid sales bots, you. Uh, Banned. Thank you. Sorry about that. I'll watch you. I always I like to teach, so I also like to watch people who don't know have that much experience yet, and and that gives me inspiration on what to teach more. So I want to really quickly. Too many open windows here. Yeah, absolutely. So I did an export here, right, to macOS. Actually, that's not too bad, right? That's 100 megabytes, so round about the same size. So, and that just works. So I expected much more pain getting this to run on my Mac, right? But for the time being, since full screen is completely annoying for obvious reasons, I'm gonna set the project settings. I'm not sure where I do this. Project settings. I don't want to start full screen. Okay, so let's do this again. Full screen is nice for, I prefer, and obviously now 1920 by 1080 is not gonna, but I prefer window, at least for development, because for release we will have to do something, but I prefer this a lot, and that also means, I mean, Godot was nice enough to make us a disk image, but this is good. I want to do one more thing. So added uh, build settings. So I want to build. I want to build. Yeah, I don't care. I want to go WebGL for the moment because Godot was like, yeah, that just works. So, oh, so that's the thing about Unity. You switch your target and it blocks, changes something in the editor. Let's say export new folder WebGL. But maybe it has the web server integrated. Build times are definitely longer in Unity, a lot, but maybe it's better code at the end. Maybe it is better code in the end. Maybe it is better code in the end. Come on. Linking, 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 linking. Still linking, linking. What is it linking? I mean, I have one script file with like 50 lines of code. Oh, maybe 100. Okay, compressing. I mean, I set shorter build time, but okay. I mean, it opened it on the wrong screen, so let's drag this here and actually reload this. So it was pretty quick. So that's nice. It's nice probably for building preview versions and stuff, and the dyeing works, so that's cool. Gonna close this now. Yeah, saving is something we look into, but what I also want to look into, how big is this version? 3.8 megabyte? I mean, really? I tools, browser tools, developer network, reload. Can I? Can I? Oh. So it's not even cheating, it is a few megabytes only, which is nice. I mean, that's cool. That's cool, because, wow. Here's what I'm gonna do, and I probably need to do this off stream, but I'm gonna create an S3 bucket with a CloudFront distribution for the Unity and Godot versions so you can test them out yourself, but I'm gonna do that off stream because that's a bit out of scope. At some point we'll get to GitHub Actions, and I want to auto build the various variations of the project. And then we get into actions and automated. I need to switch this back to Mac OS because I'll forget otherwise. The sad thing is it's recompiling instead of caching in two different folders. I mean, what happens if I say, oh, how do I wonder, and this is a bit unfair, but Godot export at Windows desktop. RC edit. Okay, there's some setup to be done, but in theory, I could build the Windows binary on this machine. So, and I wouldn't do this locally usually, but I have a Linux version of the game. I have a Linux version of the game. I mean, how cool is that? But, okay, I would say git ignore for Unity. Or did it actually... it didn't create a git ignore, so let's steal one from the standard git ignore. So library memory captures. I think this looks good. Visual Studio Gradle, Unity. I mean, just to reduce the noise here a bit, right? But we have a lot of, oh, we have the Godot stuff, so git add assets. Do I add packages? Yes. And project settings. Uh, we'll do a test build. I think I want to go to GitHub Actions really fast. So whenever I push something, it builds the versions. And since we share the repository, we have to do path restrictions on when we build Unity and when we build Godot. But if I forget to add files, I want something to remind me. So I'm not gonna submit these two for the moment. Not gonna do the I'm gonna ignore the export. Actually, let's yeah, let's add the export directory here. That's better. We're gonna clean this up over time, and I'm still not sure which files need to be added and which. So there's a staged files, untracked. I want to stage this. Okay, so season 1, episode 2, set up basic project in Unity and implement basic fish movement in Unity. I cannot rebase and push this, right? Yes, so I'm not sure what I changed here. I'm gonna stage these two, just so you have everything. Some tweak, some minor things in Godot. Because I want to rebase and push this, right? 3 hours, 10 minutes, ad break, just ran and I forgot again. So, okay, Godot, open documentation windows, 1, Unity open documentation windows, a lot, I guess. So everything is uploaded. If you want to follow along, everything is in the Fiiish repository as usual. Please don't steal the assets. Everything else, play with it. I'm gonna take a break now. I mean, can I just can we just can we just I'm just gonna do I want to do something, right? Okay, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this. And I'm gonna take this. Can I resize this window? No. But I mean, wait, this it doesn't matter. Right? Rust, Godot, Unity. We will fix the background later. So I'm Antti. It was a pleasure of having you here on this hot and steamy Saturday afternoon. I'm gonna cook some dinner, take a 2 hour break, and then we'll go back to the plan and maybe do another 2, 3 hours, right? Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Stay safe out there. Love you all. Bye bye.